Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you all for joining. Usually there are a lot of people attending this series of webinars within Cognitive SEO. Yes, yet within this particular webinar, there are even more people attending. So my guess would be that the Google link building techniques, the Google approved link building techniques is a theme of high interest for everybody. So why did I say Google approved link building techniques? Because at the end of the day, we all try to build links, okay? And we all hope, hope for the best but expect the worst. No, we hope for the best in the way that we hope that those links are high quality one, and there are links that won't take us into any kind of trouble, won't get us into penalties, won't annoy or upset the big Google so that we will suffer a penalty or a drop. So this is why I decided that today we're going to talk about some 5 link building techniques. We're going to talk exclusively, we're going to use exclusively Cognitive SEO and some other free tools that we can find out there. I'm going to say we because I don't like to believe that I'm just here talking all by myself, but we're in a conversation. So feel free to put questions, to ask anything that might not be very clear. Yeah, so you have the chat button. I've seen that you've already discovered it. So if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to ask. So we're going to have 5 techniques. Okay, I'm going to shortly brief each of it. If you have questions after each technique, please just write it down, and I will gladly answer it. Okay, so if you can see my screen now, we're gonna go and talk about the first technique, and that is what I've called identify that business. What exactly does this mean with identify that business? So basically identify business or domains that do not exist anymore, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly why. So let's say that I want to check out if there are any expired domains, if domains that are down, and so on. So you're going to say, okay, how do I find that on the internet? There is a solution for that because we have this domain. It's called expireddomains.net, as you can see it here. And basically here you have lists and lists of domains, right? By countries, by all sorts of things. You also have some filters here if you want I don't know, to find them for number of links, for different country designations, if you have different niches, markets, and so on. So here on the expired domain sites, you can find expired domains or domains that are down. I would recommend you to try finding the ones that are in your niche. And this is because this is what's going to actually help you. So let's say that I'm here, I already searched for a domain that I might be interested in, and the domain is this one, okay? I find this thing, I say, okay, this looks like a very interesting one. What can I do now? Firstly, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go within Cognitive SEO's Site Explorer, and I'm gonna check it out. So I want to check it out to see what's up with it. Does it have any links? Any good I can get out of it? Okay, and I see I have like 104 referring domains. I know we are all gonna see this big number of links, but please don't get too excited. The actual numbers that matters usually are referring domains and not so much the links. If you're having only 100 referring domains and so many links, 60K links, it's more likely something fishy going on. So I wouldn't recommend to take this number, but to look at the referring domains. And I think this is something that you should look at your own sites as well. Count the referring domains more than you count the links. Okay, on the Site Explorer, as you know, we can find so many info about this. Referring domain, anchor links, rankings, I don't know, all sort of stuff. But we can actually find, we can click on the referring domains and actually find those referring domains along with the sites. right? Along with the links. These are the referring domains, and these are, you're going to see the top links that are going to these referring domains. And you're going to say, okay, why is this helpful for me? This is a business, has some links, how can it help you? Well, it does, because we have this other tool that is called Wayback Machine. And here on the Wayback Machine, the cool thing is that you can put any website, and you can see how this website used to look, I don't know, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago. We're going to see. Okay. It's a free tool, so might have some bugs from time to time. Hopefully it will work eventually. It's actually very useful when you look for that business to see how its content used to be like, or used to look. Okay, looks like Wayback Machine is not very, okay, here it goes. So I can look, I don't know, in 2016, and as I look at 2016, I may pick a date and see what the site was about, because there is no point in finding a dead link business, I don't know, that business in fashion if you're into flower delivery, let's say, okay? So that wouldn't make much sense. But if you find a business in the flower delivery area and you're in the same niche, then you can use that business. I always recommend you to check with this one, with the Wayback Machine. Let's see, for instance, here how it used to look. Here, basically, what this site is doing is taking snapshots. For instance, we're going to see a snapshot for 25th of May. You see, this is how the site is working. It's just taking snapshots at a different period of time. You see, had one here, had here, and some here. And as you can have a snapshot, you can get an idea what the business was about, you know, if it's something related to your niche. You can also figure that out for the link profile as well. But maybe having a screenshot would be also helpful. Okay, this is not working, it's not as friendly as usual in this Wayback Machine tool. Yet, then again, this is what happens when the webinars are live. But you can check it out for yourself and see exactly how that business looks like for you to get an idea how to use it. But let's go back here on our Site Explorer, because once we have all the referring domains, we can get advantage of it. I mean, imagine that there basically are more than 100 domains that are linking to a business that does not exist anymore. For instance, if I were one of these guys, I would like to link to live businesses, to sites that exist. I wouldn't want to have 404 broken links on my page, okay? So what I'd recommend to do, find that business, check out the referring domains, and take all this one by one, check it if it's good for you, check the domain influence, okay, because you see their average, low, some with high, some with good. So check the domain influence, pick the best ones that you can get out of there, and try to see if you can talk with these people, add your link instead of that domain. So this would be like the first technique. Yeah, this one is still still running here. So something we don't like about that business. So just a quick summary: go to expired domains, find a domain that is expired, but from your own niche, your own category. After that, check it out with the Site Explorer. Check out these referring domains, make those links yours. Basically, claim those links. Okay. Hope that this is clear. Just 1 minute. If you're having questions here, just quickly let me know now. Okay. Say, having some questions here. If this is working for all of the niches, yes, this could be working for all of the niches, as saying this here you can find everything that you want. I mean, for instance, if you're looking for businesses for a specific country only, or if you're looking for, I don't know, marketplace domains, as you can see here, just check them out, take it directly. Okay. Okay. Just 1 second, just to make sure. Good. Now, let's go to the second technique. I also have an offer for you guys, everybody. So if after we end this webinar, the first 5 people who send me an email with these 5 techniques that we talked here, just a short email, hi Cornelia, these are the 5 techniques we've been talking about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will get 100 extra research credits within its his cognitive SEO account. So yeah, waiting for your emails, and hopefully this will make you be a bit more attentive to this webinar. Noah still has a question here. So you reach out to the companies and ask them if you can put your link where the expired one was. Exactly. Basically, you do a bit of outreach, contact those directly and say, hey, you're linking to something that does not exist. Check this out, it's way better. And first of all, it's live. There are some more questions here, but I'm just trying to summarize the ones that are have some commonalities. Okay, number 2, we're going to talk about the unlinked mentions. So, you all get mentioned out there on the internet, right? I mean, we're having links where people are linking to you, but there are also situations when people are mentioning you, but they're not adding your link. For instance, let's say that someone would mention this webinar, hey, Cornelia from cognitiveSEO just had that great, awesome, incredible webinar yesterday, and I'm gonna sum up some of the things she said there. And let's say that that person just mentions my name there, but is not giving me a link. So the problem would be what to do. If I would have had a link there, most likely I would have had it here on my SEO campaigns, right? Because cognitiveSEO would notice me, hey, you have a new link. But if I'm just getting mentioned, how do I do that? How do I find who mentioned me online? And there are some tools that do exactly this. But one of the tools that we developed recently is this one, Brand Mentions. You might have heard of it. So Brand Mentions is a tool for monitoring your brand and competitors. So basically, you create a project just like in cognitiveSEO. You add the website and the keywords that you're most interested in, and each time you get mentions, they're collected into your projects, and you can make something. You can take an action on the spot. And so, for instance, let's say that here, okay, I'm having all of my mentions. I've created a project for Yves Rocher. So here I'm having all my mentions. There are a lot of them on the web, on social. Okay, this is for a period of time. Most likely, I think I have them here for the last month. I can choose, of course, the language. I can choose the country, the market, and so on. But what do I want to tell? If I'm having all mentions, how do I know that which one of these mentions have links or not? I mean, I can check like that, all of them, but that would take me a lot of time. Not to mention that there are social mentions as well, there are web mentions as well. I mean, this would take a lot of time just to manually check each one. And it will take tons of time just to do this version. I mean, just put here Yves Rocher and just go through all of them. I mean, that would take tons of time. So within the broad mentions, basically we create this unlinked. So here there is a category when we can instantly choose to see all of your unlinked mentions. So I'm having a list with people that mentioned me or my brand, but they didn't give me a link. And then again, here is a very good link building opportunity for you. Because these people, why do I say that this is, for instance, a Google approved technique? Google says lately that mentions are maybe as important as links. Because when people mention someone, Okay, they're having a very, very strong influence. They mention you just because they want to, just because they find your product to be good, or maybe contrary, they mention you because they think that you're absolutely horrible and they want to trash you down in the internet. Either way, you want to know what is talked about you out there on the internet, and you want to do a bit of reputation management. Especially when you're from the tourism area, when you're having, for instance, you're having I know, a hostel or something like that, and you basically all your market is based on reviews. How do you manage all those reviews? How can you make sure that you respond to people on the spot? Okay, and brand mentions can help you reputation management as well, but this is another story. What I want to tell you now is that mentions are highly important, and if you're having linked mentions, that's even better. A saying is very hard to identify unlinked mentions. This was a frustration we had, and this is why it was one of the reasons we created brand mentions, just for that, just to be sure and to make sure that we know exactly who's talking about us and when. We used to use Google Alerts, which is also free, but unfortunately didn't deliver all the mentions and not on time, and we had some issues. So we said, okay, screw everything, let's create our own. So we came out with this, brand mentions. I said that we're going to use only cognitiveSEO and free apps and tools. Brand mentions, for the moment, is free. So I would recommend you to use it, brandmentions.com. It's just a newly launched product, so you can have early access just by entering your name, sharing, referring your friends, also a big contest with prize. You're going to see everything here. For the moment, let's see how we can help you in terms of links. I'll just go to the unlinked section, okay? And I choose a mention, for instance. Okay, I'll choose this one. Let's see exactly what's talking. So basically, probably this one, I think it's in Dutch. It's from Belgium, from what I get. So someone is talking about my brand. Let's say that Ivrosher is our brand. I know it isn't, I know, but let's assume it is. Let's feel powerful and rich for a moment. And let's assume Ivrosher would be our brand. And what I see here that this girl, I'm guessing, has this beauty talk blog, has been mentioning my products. But no link associated. So then again, what can I do? What can I best do? I'll just go to her. I think this is contact something. And I'll tell you, hey, that's awesome, that's great, you just mentioned me, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. If you could add a link, would be great. If no, then again, it's really awesome because you mentioned me and that means a lot. And when you put people things in this perspective, one, you create relationships, and two, you might even get some links out of that. So it's not like begging for links, it's not like paying for links, it's a link that you've earned because that person already mentioned you. So it had the intent. Maybe it forgot to add a link, maybe it didn't want. Regardless of the reasons, the unlinked brand mention technique is a really cool one. It works wonders. So basically you have unlinked mentions and you can transform them into linked mentions, which is very, very powerful. So this was the technique number 2. If you're having questions for a couple of seconds, please add them here. I know we can add the questions, ask a question at the end of the webinar, but I'm guessing that you'll forget some of them, some of the things. Okay, so questions related to brand mentions. Okay, if you're having, someone is asking if within brand mentions, how do you do the search? How do you know they're unlinked mentions? So basically, it's very similar with the cognitiveSEO. Where you create a project, you add your domain, you connect your social accounts, and after that, we offer you all the info related to mentions, and we even have an unlinked category. Of course, there are other filters here as well you can use, but this is the easiest way to do that. Okay. Questions? Okay. There are some other questions regarding the pricing of the brand mentions, how can you enter the contest and all these things. I'm not going to repeat them. Not going to repeat all of the questions, but you need to know that, as mentioning, brand mention is free for the moment. Feel free to use it. Feel free to join the contest if you want, and most important, feel free to transform your unlinked mentions into linked mentions. Okay, the technique number 3, the link building technique number 3, it's also related to brand mentions, but it's a bit of a switch of the situation. So let's call it again the brand mention techniques. So let's say I'm going to do a quick search now. Let's say that I'm interested in fair trade coffee. I'm even having this fair trade community. Okay, let's say fair trade coffee for the English language for the last month. Okay, good. So let's say that my business is in this area. And you'll say, okay, that's awesome, that's great, but how can you get links out of there? How can you get links? Just by knowing the mentions, or just by knowing the sites and the people who mentioned fair trade coffee. And I say that, oh, well, you can, and you can big time. Because if I'm interested in this topic, this means that I'm interested in what people are talking about this topic. I'm interested in what people in forums are saying about it. I'm interested in what type of content is written on this matter. I'm interested in who are the people, who are the influencers that are talking about this, and all this stuff. So for instance, just by taking a quick look here, I'm getting some suggestions. I don't know, best place for trade coffee in Seattle. So people are interested in coffees probably. So maybe I'm interested in this one. Okay, so this is a blog, for instance. Let's click on this. So this is a blog, xinternational.blogspot, who is probably talking about fair trade coffee. So I can instantly access it. I can, if it's possible and if it's relevant, I can also post a comment here, or I can also get ideas of this. I can also get ideas of content. Okay, but most important, as I was saying before, is the outreach that you can do with the people. You can even ask, right, the people that are writing these mentions to mention you as well, or to add your link as well, or you can basically post comments. Again, you'll say that, where was I? Here. You will probably say that, yeah, okay, but adding comments on the internet randomly is not okay. True, that's totally not okay. Just putting random comments on the internet, that's totally wrong. Yet, when adding comments to forums and websites where you're bringing added value, that is an okay technique. And where do you find all those forums? Well, where do you find all those blog spots? Well, here is a good place to start. You know, it's very hard to look in Google maybe for this, but here you have them all together. You have the topic, you just write it here, and saying one, you can leave your links in comments, or you can bring added value in forums and so on. But then again, just on your niche and just when you bring added value. Otherwise, no. 2, you can get content ideas, and 3, you can find what are people talking about this topic that you're interested in, who are the people that are talking, where do they talk, and so on. So yes, you'll get links, but you'll get much more than that. You'll get an idea of your business. You'll have great insights for this. So I totally recommend you to use this. So then again, this was the technique number 3. So please let me know your questions quickly here. If you're having any, just a second, just for me, because I think I disabled my comments. Okay, can please, just for me to check that everything is working fine with the comments, can you please type something into the chat, just for me to see that I see everything all right? Okay, we're set. Okay, awesome. Okay, fine here. Okay, I just disabled something. it's good I'm not working in a informatics company. Okay. Then again, we have some comments here, but as they're mostly related to the brand mentions, whether it's free or not, as mentioned, it's a free tool. You can use it. Feel free to use it. I also recommend you to take it for a spin. The technique number 4 now. For the technique number 4, we're going to use a bit our beloved friend, the keyword tool and content assistant. Okay, so you're basically, if you can also write rapidly on the chat what you guys use this tool most for, the keyword tool and the content assistant. For instance, I personally use it a lot for improving content, as we have a blog within cognitiveSEO, so improving the content for specific keywords, it's highly important for us. So if you can quickly write it down and tell me what do you mainly use the keyword tool and content assistant for, will be awesome. This is a personal curiosity. But let's say that, for instance, I'm interested in writing blog posts in the cognitiveSEO domain. Okay, and I write a lot, but I also want to get results. And in order to get results, I need to amplify the content, the things that I'm writing. Because if I'm just writing, also let me show you the cognitiveSEO blog. Because if I'm just writing articles and just post them here, but nobody's engaged, nobody's commenting, nobody's sharing, then it's not that fun. Even, I mean, at the end of the day, the purpose is to have people engage, is to bring added value and so on. So I'm not going to lie to you when I say that, yes, I would also like to have other people linking to my content because I work a lot of it, I put efforts in it, so I like people to mention. So let's say that I'm interested in a topic like SEO experts, okay? Being in this niche, we write about digital marketing, SEO topics, SEO experts, and so on. You probably get our mail, right? With our cognitive SEO blog newsletters, what we've written lately, and so on. I'm just having a lot of questions popping out, and this is why I'm just having some breaks from time to time. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about how to use Keyword Explorer because we had a different webinar on that. And I can send you the link afterwards if you're interested. But as I'm interested in SEO experts, of course I'm interested in ranking, and this is why I'm using all this content performance. But what I'm interested this time is getting links, not only in rank high, but also getting links. So what do? So I go to Content Assistant, and I say, okay, SEO experts. I just write here, kind of best ever, right? Let's assume that this would be my content. I would write much more here. Okay, start. I have content performance score 0. What a surprise, because I'm not doing anything useful. So here I'm having the keywords I should use. And yes, I should use these keywords. Firstly, because they will help me rank higher. But another thing that you can do with the keyword tool is use some of these keywords to help you build direct links. So you see, I'm having here some suggestions, and probably you had it as well when you write content. I'm having things like Chris Dyson, Dennis Sullivan, Vanessa Fox, Bill Slawski, Dave Deller, and Brandon. So all of these guys and girls are people that are probably very influential in this area, and they're people that matter in the SEO expert zone. So what would be wise for me to do? It would be wise to use all these people in my content, but not just use them like put their name there. No, actually put their name, put a code within my content, okay? And afterwards, after I'm using, hey, I'm writing a blog about SEO experts, Danny Sullivan thinks that this would be a good SEO expert, while Vanessa Fox thinks that, I don't know, an SEO expert should be more like this and like this. I publish the article, I try to do a bit of outreach. I try to promote it as best as we can. But I will also contact these guys, the one that I've mentioned, letting them know, hey, I've just mentioned you within my last article. I thought you might be interested in seeing that. And what people will do, will share that information or will link to it. Okay? Imagine, for instance, that someone would mention you in an article, right? Someone mentioned, okay, hey, this is the best flower delivery company that I've ever met in my life. There are some awesome guys. And you find out that somebody just mentioned. What will you probably do? You'll probably share that piece of information. You'll feel proud, so you want to share, you want to link to it, you want to post on your Facebook, you want to purpose it as much as possible. Or then again, if you're doing a roundup experts, and it doesn't matter the niche you are, because in all the niches, there are experts that are influencers, there are people that matter. And as long as you mention them there, of course, if it's relevant, and let them know, hey, you've just been mentioned here, it's very, very likely that they will react, and they will react positively. Of course, if you write positively about them. If no, you might figure out the consequences. So this is really a technique that is working. For instance, we're saying I'm going to use our blog as an exemplification again. For instance, if I'm having, let's say that this article written by one of my colleagues, and okay, as I go down, you see I'm having here some codes. No, for example, this one, I'm having a code from someone. So maybe it would be what we probably did was, my colleague did, was to contact John Muir and say, hey, we've just mentioned you within our article, that's great. And people were saying before, most likely they do tend to push that content, they do tend to correlate it to it, they tend to share it, like it on Facebook and so on. Because, you know, it's really nice when you see that someone is mentioning it. Okay, so hopefully that this is all clear. If you're having any other question here, mention them means creating a backlink. If you're having any other questions here, please feel free to add them here related to this technique where you mention people on your blogs, on your content, and so on. The influencer mentioning technique. I'm having some questions here from Mark, David, Amol, Danny. So David is asking if mentioning means to create a backlink to them. What we personally do, we also link that people's profile of Twitter, Facebook, or even their website in it. So when I'm mentioning someone and say, hey, this guy said this awesome thing, I do drop the link to his personal social profile or maybe his website. Yeah, if this was a question. What email do we, Deborah asked me something related to the content that I've just sent you. So what email do we use to email the list of 5 to you? So I'm gonna write it down here. Is my name. Okay, I'm guessing it's quite hard to pronounce, so I'm just gonna drop it like this. Please let me know if everybody saw my email address. Everybody? Hopefully I've sent it to everybody, so I hope that you all saw it. If not, you can also write to support@cognitiveSEO.com, but I would prefer to send this email personally to me, to cornelia.kozmiuk@cognitiveSEO.com, if not, to our main contact address. Okay, so this was the number 4 technique, and we have about 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna go fast with the last technique. The last technique, it might sound a bit complicated, but it's not. I let the best for the last, as the saying goes. It is how to get a link from Wikipedia. We all know that wiki links are really good, are very hard to achieve. But once you have a Wikipedia link, it will boost you up in rankings big time. So how can you achieve such a link? So the thing is that there are a lot of articles on Wikipedia with dead links. Yet, if we type something like articles with the link, okay, you're gonna even have a page that we're going to see exactly this, Wikipedia articles with dead links. But as you can see, there are tons of them. I mean, tons and tons of articles that are having dead links. How do you know that is your domain influence? How do you know it's your niche? How do you know it's your market? I mean, it would take forever. And I'm not saying that Wikipedia is not worth that, but there is a better, faster way. So what we can do is try to use a bit of from the Google's, how do you call them? There are some shortcuts. I'm having a lapsus now. The Google operators, yeah, I think that is the correct term, the Google operators. So I'm going to do a search like this. So I want to see in the site wikipedia.org, okay, within this site, I'm interested in flower delivery, okay, and I'm interested in this text, dead link. Okay, let's see what happens. So hopefully you remember. So basically, I just added the name of the site. This is an operator. I added the domain I'm interested in, and in text I added what I'm looking at, what I want to see in this website. So I'm having all this big list. Then again, now things are way easier because I narrow my list. So everything here is about flower delivery: Bloomx flower, carnations, goldenrod, apples. Most likely everything here is related somehow to flowers. So I go here. Okay, I'm getting this. So you say, okay, what is that link? But let's check it out. That link. Yes, basically I did this with Control F. I search for the dead link, exactly like this. And Wikipedia tells me that here is a dead link. Okay. Oops, that page cannot be found. Interested? Then again, we take all of this. We go to the Site Explorer. We add here this. I think I should have put it at as a prefix level. Okay. I get this. And ta-da! Now I get the info about that page. So basically, what are two things that I've earned here? Basically, once you know that this Wikipedia page, okay, has a dead link, and we've identified this dead link, and if you are in the flower industry or flower delivery industry, you can basically contact the owner, the editor of the Wikipedia page, and present him the situation that this is a dead link, as is also seen here, and you can insert your own link here. And secondly, you found even more of these referring, even more referring domains that are going to that link. And as you can see, it's a very high influence referring domains. So you can get even more and more. See, Wikitrans, Wikipedia, Vibe-Teen, Unichef. I mean, they're all very, very high qualitative links. Okay, even just imagine how many does it have from Wikipedia. But you can take all these referring domains one by one. They're not even that many if you're in the flower industry, and see if you can get links there. I mean, there are 25 referring domains. You have to send just 25 emails, even if you get 3 or 4 responses back. That is still awesome because they're very highly qualitative links. I mean, they're links from Wikipedia, which is absolutely great. They're links that will boost you up a lot. But we this just the web machine just decided to work. Another thing that you can do, because we look at the dead link, another thing that we can do and would be inspiring to do is then again check this domain with the Wayback Machine, if it will decide to work, and try to see how it used to look, and try to create content similar to that. And let's, you know, see, we're having some suggestions on how the page used to look, the one that is broken, the domain. And try to create content that is very similar to that one, not exactly the same, but very similar, so that it's still relevant for that Wikipedia link, okay? Because Wikipedia linked, okay, this information, I got it from there, like a source. So if you create your contents to be that source, it will link to you instead of these guys who are basically having a dead link. Now, I know, then again, might be something that will take a lot of work, but I say that it's absolutely totally worth it. This 5 technique, we say the Wikipedia gold mine road links, because you can get a lot of links from that. I just gave you a quick example, but as you can see, I mean, we can find a lot of dead links. There were so many pages right there. So yeah, why not trying to find as many links as possible. We went here, but you have all of this, and I'm pretty sure you're going to find a lot of dead links. So this was the number 5 technique, the Wikipedia link fraud. I hope that these were all good techniques for you, things that you've learned from. Just a quick recap. We have the first one, to identify that business, and you can do this here with the expired domains, okay? And after that, take that business and check it out inside store. Number 2, the one with the unlinked mentions. So I recommend you to go and create a link here on the brand mentions. Number 3 is the brand mention technique, where you basically find a topic and try to go into the community, see what people are talking about, write on forums, write on discussions, write comments, and then again a source of links. Number 4, with the keyword to and content assistant, try to mention people that matter in your business. Let those people know that you talked about them, and after that, it's very likely that those people will talk about you as well. And number 5, the one that I do think it deserves all of your time, is this one, to find dead links on your on the Wikipedia site and try to claim those links as being your own. Try to create Wikipedia link is not a very easy thing. It's a thing that would surely help you a lot in terms of ranking and rankings and all that. So you guys, thank you very, very much for your attention. If you don't have any other questions, I've seen a lot of questions here, but as saying before, some of them are just still on repeat, so I just tried to pick a few of them. I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you're having, or if you're, I don't know, interested in having any other topics within this webinar, just then again write me an email, and I'm gonna try to answer it. And don't forget, the top 5 people who write me back with the 5 techniques that we discussed today are going to get 100 extra research credits within the QR tool and content assistant. So thank you all for attending. Hope this was useful for you guys. It was a pleasure talking for you, and hope to see you within the next webinar. Until then, just stay awesome.